Well, again, um, people have asked me to talk about narcissism, and a few people also have mentioned to me, like, why would you admit you're a narcissist? Like, that's not a good thing to be. Well, you are what you are, you're born the way you're born. You can't really help that. But what I have tried to do is change. So I'm aware of what narcissism did to me or does to me, and how it affected my uh, addictions and my alcoholism, and how it gave me like all the things we talk about in addiction as faults. Narcissism is all of my faults rolled into one. So, like, I'm selfish, self-centered, controlling, immature. I only think about myself. I sometimes don't care about other people's feelings. All that combined into one thing. Now, after about between 10, 15 years of recovery, it took me that long to really realize how important it was to deal with these faults, and how I needed to be a better person in order to really get better. So, with that said, I really tried to control my narcissism, and I still do today. Now, I know that if I were to start drinking tomorrow, it would come back just as fast. And I just wouldn't care about controlling it. But I do control it. I care about controlling it. I want to be a better person. And that's why I don't drink or drug anymore, and why I'm happy. I'm happy because I just don't care about only myself. I really stop and think about other people's feelings most of the time. Sometimes, nobody's perfect, but I am a lot better than I was. So it's okay for me to say, yeah, I'm a narcissist. I'll always be a narcissist. It's not a good thing. It's a terrible thing. I mean, in my full-blown narcissism, I think I honestly thought, I was the cat's ass. I was all that. I knew everything. I was smart. I was intelligent. I was smarter than you. I was smarter than him. All those things. And yet, how many times my life fell apart, I didn't see that. I still came out of it thinking I was the smartest person in the room, and I had things to back it up. I had tons of friends. I had people who wanted to be my friend and stuff. But when it got completely out of control, and as my addictions did and my alcoholism, nobody wanted to be around me. It was not a good thing. I was totally self-absolved and not a good person to be around. But just to let you know, I'm much, much better now. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy about my life. I'm happy I have all that stuff behind me. But again, I'm going to mention that, we can't change the past. We can't change who we are, who we were. We can just be better. We can try to change. And like for me, I tell people, yeah, I've changed. But the thoughts that I had before I changed are still there, embedded in my head. It's me who stops and thinks before I say something, or stops and thinks before I do something. Like, am I being selfish? Am I being rude? Am I being mean to somebody? I have to try and stop and think. you're not like that anymore. You're trying to change. You're trying to be better. So I'm not embarrassed about it because I do pull it off, but I am only human. So in order to recover, recovery is about change. It's like when somebody goes into jail, they're supposed, in the old days, I guess, you went in there to rehab. It was called rehabilitation. You went in there and you took classes and you sat down in discussions and you learned about, if you don't change, nothing's going to change and you're going to end up back here. So recovery from alcoholism and drug addiction is the same thing. If we don't change, we're just going to end up back there. And that's back in our addiction. So I just want you to know that change is important. It's as important as quitting drinking, as quitting taking drugs. Because we can quit. Anybody can quit. You can stop. But can you be happy? Can you change? Can you? If not, you're going to end up going back. It's not 100%, but it's just my experience with other people is when I talk to other alcoholics and other addicts and people just starting out, I tell them, this is a program of change. If we don't change, we won't make it. And I firmly now believe that because I've seen so many people who refuse to change or refuse to admit what they were and try to be better. And that just about wraps up narcissism in me, I think. If you have any questions, leave me a message or something and comment, and I'll address it. Thanks very much.